Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I will be doing my next book talk on two books, which is Second Act and Ikigai. So I hope you guys enjoy these key lessons from the two of these books, and yeah, let's go. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to talk about is Second Acts by Stephen Michael Pollan and Mark Levine. So basically this book is for those of you who have already a very stable first career and you're planning to launch your second act. And by second act, what I mean is perhaps you could be an accountant who's into painting, or you could be an engineer who loves baking, but you're not able to pursue this second interest because of certain obstacles, which could be financial support or lack of knowledge, lack of experience. Basically, two of these authors come together to put comprehensive exercises for the readers to identify what truly drives them, what truly motivates them, and what is their actual interest in life, the passion that you have, and all these things. And then as you go chapter by chapter, they will also analyze if the obstacles you're facing can be overcome, and if they cannot be overcome, they also give you solutions for that. And it's very advisable that as you read this book, you have like a small notebook to actually do the exercises that they have put into giving out advices in this book. Okay, so now let's head on to the key lessons from Second Act. And I think the first key lesson, which is pretty much important, is that when life presents opportunity, take advantage. Like Stephen actually addresses in this book, he mentions that most elderly people, when they are at the point where they are bedridden, the only regret they have is not taking the risk that were actually present in the earlier days of their life. So when you have an opportunity, especially an opportunity to pursue your second interest or your second act, just go for it, because you wouldn't know if the same opportunity will come to you again. Okay, and the next key lesson from the book Second Act is that we should be open and candid about our talents and shortcomings. For example, if you watch so many reality shows and competitions, you would notice that the only way somebody becomes famous because of their talent is because they chose to showcase that talent to the whole world. And the same thing goes for us. Even if you're talented in so many things, you could be talented in various fields, but the only way you can showcase your talent is by being open about it, and by choosing to let the world know about your talent. And whilst you're at the process of showing off your talent and being open and candid about your talent, don't be afraid to admit any gaps in your knowledge about your second act. For example, if you have the interest to pursue painting, but you lack certain knowledge or you lack certain experience, be open and be ready to receive constructive feedback and criticism, so that it will be beneficial for you and so that you can improve and better yourself. And the last important key lesson that I learned from Second Act is that life is a mixture of good and bad. So for example, if you're going through a really difficult situation right now in your life, just accept and understand the fact that there must be a good underneath that difficult situation, that everything happens for a reason. So even if you're going through a very difficult situation right now, things will eventually unfold and everything will lead you to the right path. So just constantly believe that in terms of pursuing your second act, and even if you're not, in general, just believe that, and things will definitely happen and unfold the way you want it to be. Okay, now it's time to head on to the second book, titled Ikigai by Ken Mogi. So basically this book is is basically concentrated on the concept titled Ikigai, which is Ikigai is a Japanese word for describing pleasures and meanings of life. So I think this book will be a good read for, especially if you if you're into Japanese culture and stuff, and this one should be a good one to start with, because the author describes some of the a few concepts, Japanese concepts, that you can familiarize yourself with in regards to Japanese culture. So the first key lesson I learned from the book Ikigai is that we should find ourselves a reason to get up in the morning, and in order to do this, Ken Mogi actually addresses a few examples from a few Japanese who, despite whatever time it is, in like really, really early in the morning, they get up and they start doing whatever they're supposed to do, because that gives them the happiness to, live out their best life. And that should happen and apply to us as well. So in order to do this, just make sure you sit down in a really quiet place and be serious with yourself and ask yourself what really motivates you and what truly drives you to get up in the morning. So be excited about that, be excited about waking up in the morning and heading on to your day and doing what you okay. And the next lesson that I learned from Ikigai is that we should be present in the here and now. By that I mean, when you are in the flow of doing something you love, you won't need the recognition or any award for doing it. So when you are in the flow of doing something you love, you are actually present in that specific moment, and you just simply go on with your life, and you wouldn't even have to worry about what if someone says this or what if someone doesn't like it, because you are truly enjoying that moment, you are present in that moment, and you just simply go on with the flow of doing what you okay. And the last but not least important lesson that I learned from the book Ikigai is that there is no secret formula to happiness. And Ken Mogi also addresses a finding by the scientists, saying that people tend to use a focusing illusion, whereby we base our thoughts on imaginary subjects like having a degree, being happily married, and having a lot of money as the key to happiness, which eventually after the findings, the scientists say that they don't bring actual happiness to humans. So what actually brings us happiness is the acceptance of oneself. So when you're actually accepting yourself for who you are releasing yourself from the imaginary thought of what holds you desirable. So when you finally release yourself from what you should be, you will be able to accept the unique difference that sets you apart from somebody else, and that way you'll be able to lead your life the way you want and the way you like it. Okay, so that's it for the video this time on the book talk for Ikigai and Second Act. Do let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite key lesson, and I'll see you guys really soon on a next video. Bye!